friends, I love a good fashion competition show. Season 2 of Next in Fashion is probably my favorite of all time. From the very first episode, I became obsessed with Nigel Xavier. I loved his whole vibe, his story, and I wanted everything he wore. The fact that all of his looks were sustainable, repurposed, upcycled fashion just made my heart sing. I made it a quest to own one of his pieces. In this video, I'll tell you how that became a reality, and I'll show you how I'm styling my prized Nigel Xavier pants. Welcome to the Dress Up Mom. If you're already a subscriber, thank you, and I love you. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and tap the bell for notifications. First, let me tell you just a little bit about Nigel. He's young, he's 28. He was born in California, but now is based in Atlanta, Georgia. From a recent interview in Vogue magazine, here's what he says. I grew up with little money, so despite being inspired by names like Yves Saint Laurent and Rick Owens, I had to find smart ways of reworking clothes in my wardrobe to make the pieces I wanted to wear, even down to my shoes. The struggle led me to find my vibe though, which I would describe as raw and free-flowing, but with an embedded nostalgia. I wanted to bring together elements of the old and new to create my own world. I mean, this is basically everything I preach, and it definitely served Nigel in creating a really unique look for himself and his fashion. He also credits an after-school fashion program in high school for keeping him out of trouble. His interest was piqued to an extreme, and he couldn't deny his calling. In the article, he also says, I had football scholarship offers, but instead told my family I wanted to learn how to properly make clothes. So I ended up going to study at SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design. He was so open and genuine on Next in Fashion, and there was no denying his talent and his unique vision. The other contestants also seemed to really like him, and he just seems to be the epitome of cool. Since sustainable fashion has been such a passion of mine for so long, I'm so grateful for what he's doing to raise awareness and get more people on board. I had to put my money where my mouth is and find a way to own one of his pieces. I did some searching, and right after the show, I found a website of his. I really love his tapestry pants, and I saw this pair of Elvis ones that I thought were really kind of cool. Now, in retrospect, I should have just clicked buy now, but instead I tried to ask a question and I waited to get an answer. Now, it was a Saturday. I realized, you know what, they're not gonna answer me. It was a sizing question. I knew that it was kind of stupid and I was gonna buy a pair anyway. So I went back on the following day, Sunday, to buy these pants. Somehow the website was completely gone, vanished. I searched and searched, couldn't find it anywhere anymore. I kept getting messages that the site no longer existed. I couldn't believe it. So I kept sort of looking and Googling every day. Then I started doing that once a week. It never came back up, and I kept getting the same message. I also started following Nigel on Instagram, and I could see that there was no mention of a website there either. I think it's because shortly after the show, he launched a collection on Rent the Runway, which was cool, but I really liked his early work better. I put it out in the universe that I would own a pair of these Nigel tapestry pants, and I patiently waited. In the meantime, I really enjoyed seeing Nigel's popularity grow on Instagram and other places, and he looked like he was having a really great time. So, flash forward about 6 months, and Nigel posts a story saying that he is going to sell some of his archive collection because so many people have expressed interest. These were all the things that he made prior to Next in Fashion. Hallelujah! This was exactly what I was waiting for. He also offered early access that you could pay for so that you could get on the site 24 hours before the general public. I jumped on that, and I set my clock so that I could be on there pretty much when it opened up. I really enjoyed checking out the collection he had for sale. Everything was unisex, but he had a women's and men's section with basically the same stuff, except a female model wearing the piece on the women's section and a male model for the men's section. I thought that was pretty clever and hadn't seen it before. I went straight to the women's tapestry pants, and it didn't take me long to pick out the ones I wanted. These caught my eye immediately and are very me. I liked them way more than the original Elvis pair I was going to buy, even though they now cost double than that original site. Since these are collector pieces, they were a bit pricey. Things range from $250 for his bucket hats to $22.50 for the crocheted pieces. Most things were between $7.50 and $12.50. The bucket hats and the high-end crochet pieces were the first to go. I mean, they were gone just like that. Everything was a one-of-a-kind, original, handmade piece by Nigel. There were so many things I wanted to buy, but I limited myself to the pants. I'm sort of kicking myself for not buying more because I think Nigel's going to be a huge star in the fashion industry, and this collection is going to just go up in value. I don't buy clothes for that reason though. I buy them to wear them, and I knew that I would find ways to wear these pants with everything I own and have them for many years and cherish them. The collection was only available for sale for a few days. I went and checked it on the last day, and most of the things had sold. Within a week, my super bitchin' pants arrived with this note from Nigel. The pants were just as fantastic as I imagined they would be, and they were constructed really well. Here are some of the fun ways I'm styling them. Fun, huh? I'm sure that some of you are wondering how a 60-plus woman would be fangirling so hard for Nigel. I think this just goes to show that you're never too old to appreciate unique, new talent, and that there really aren't fashion rules anymore, and that you can wear whatever you feel like wearing at any age. Nigel, keep up the great work, and thank you so much for what you're doing for sustainable fashion. I cannot wait to see what you do next. Who knows, this might not be the only Nigel Xavier piece I end up owning. Are you also a Nigel fan? Please let me know that in the comments below. Also, did you have a favorite look that I wore? Put that in the comments below too. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Until next time, have fun and dress it up a little.